Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Johnny, and today I wanted to make a video on just realization and embodiment of that realization. Almost two different aspects of, let's call it, becoming free from suffering. So how I see it, this is all sort of conceptual, so it's not going to be this is the way it is, but how I would put it is realization of non-duality, or whatever you want to call it, is only half the picture when it comes to being free of suffering. See, we can have realization and at the same time still suffer a lot, still have issues, still be a bad person. It's just we've had some insight into the nature of reality. And yeah, it's commonly misunderstood. I think people usually think, if I have this realization, understanding, my life is just going to be perfect after that. But what usually happens is the realization occurs, a period of peace is usually followed due to realizing it, and then the mind and all your issues that weren't dealt with will come back up to the surface and start affecting your life negatively again. And I think this is a common thing people experience. So yes, a lot of people can be, you could say, so-called oneness, but it won't usually have much bliss to it or peace. It's just sort of there and they can sort of tap into it, but a lot of the time their mind is still running the show. So what happens after recognition is we've got to do emotional work, work on ourselves, self-development, even though there can be an understanding that there is no doer, there's no will, there is no one to work on. As long as we're still suffering, that's a sign of you're not all the way there. And I don't think there isn't all the way there, but the more we, let's say, purify ourselves, the more free from suffering we become. And it's not just about having that realization and trying to hold on to it. It's dealing with, because that what realization does, it will start bringing all that is unconscious, conscious, all that isn't in resonance with it. It's going to bring it up to the surface. So yeah, so you'll notice, you'll really start to, so what you do from there is you just go wherever you get triggered, wherever things bring up negative emotions, that's where your work is. That's okay. This triggered me. I've got to work on this. What's the story behind this? Is there a false belief in a self behind this story? Because yeah, when things are going smoothly, maybe we are in a state of oneness, but when the things get rocky and life starts to throw things at us and the self appears to come back, that's where inquiry, emotional inquiry, that's sort of, that's where we look. And that's, I think, important to also explain, along with non-dual pointing. But I don't think you can just find pure peace just through non-dual pointing. Not in my experience, and I don't know about a lot of other people's, but a lot of teachers I respect, like Adi Ashante, says the same thing. He agrees that there's two aspects to spirituality, that there's a awakening insight part, but there's also an embodiment process, bringing that awakening into your being and living your life from that place of peace and living it out through your character, making it more of a reality and not just sort of an internal thing, bringing that out through you and living life from that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.